We are Steven and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steven Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill Dewit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about what gets Jill excited.
Nobody go there, by the way. This is business. This is professional.
How much fun is that?
Oh, come on.
And who's nobody? Just me?
Everybody.
Here's what the title could be. What gets you excited?
In business.
At what point in the transaction
There we go.
do you get real excited and say, everybody's got that little euphoric moment, or maybe a set of moments in a real estate deal, or like in the company development stage that you're in, how you're accumulating wealth in real estate. That's what this is really about. But no one would listen to it if that was the title. So
I
everyone
know.
wants to know what gets Jill excited.
Yeah, so for any of you who just found this show based on the title alone and have no idea what we talk about, but just heard that someone named Jill's getting excited, it's not what you think.
Could be, though.
Oh boy. First,
And I'm qualified to answer that.
before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors online community. It is free.
Non-Land Academy member X says the following. I've traditionally always gotten my lists from the county, but decided to give RealQuest Pro a try because it was advertised in the Land Academy program. This person's not a Land Academy member. I have mailed 4 counties so far, and the results have been nothing but horrible. Member X, this is me talking now, has had not a good experience. And so that stuff happens. You can't bat 1,000. The other 800 or 900 members that have passed through and gone on had huge success are wrong, apparently. Member X is right here. I've spent thousands of dollars without acquiring a single property. One of the owners called me saying she sold the property 2 years ago and shouldn't have had been on the list. The ownership information has been updated on the CAD as well, which I think he means parcel fact. Most of the records are duplicate owners' names and addresses, so the cost of getting the data increases from 10 to 20% per record. Agent Pro provides data for 5 cents per record. I haven't tried them yet, but they give the same information for half the price. I am never going back to using RealQuest Pro again. What a waste.
This is funny to me. They just don't know what they're doing. They just don't know. No, and I feel bad.
Jill and I have sent out
They don't know.
tens of millions of offers and done tens of thousands of real estate deals using RealQuest Pro. So, and we've got
As
historical members, like
hundreds.
probably historical members, and I don't know how many. It's a lot.
They just don't
And
know.
we have people in our group that are making way more money than us, millions of dollars a month doing this and using that data. So, do you think it might be user error?
That's what I think.
Can you imagine going to do something in your life without getting educated on how to do it first? If you decide to become a welder, you go to school for a couple of years and you do an apprentice. You work as an apprentice or a journeyman. You learn. You learn to make the mistakes. You learn how to do it. There's something about real estate, and I've long said this, and I think it comes from real estate agents and how that's structured, that lends itself to education as optional. So you don't really have to learn about real estate. I watch HGTV. I know how to flip a house now. They do it all the time. Real estate agents historically go to a class. They spend a lot of money for a class, take an exam, and then they find a designated broker to hang their license. They pay a bunch of money, and that's it. They never get educated. The class is about how to pass the exam. It's not about how to buy and sell real estate. So I think that bleeds into other types of real estate. So what ends up happening is the people who do well in real estate, like Jill and I, are self-taught. I'm totally self-taught in this. Never taken a real estate class that has anything to do with this in my life. This is one of the reasons we started Land Academy, is to teach the correct way to do it. So if you're not going to learn from us, which is fine, learn somewhere. Go get yourself educated about the value of data and why getting the right data from the right place. And remember, X here couldn't be more incorrect about RealQuest Pro and about actually getting data from the actual county. If you want to really put yourself through pull a bunch of your own hair out, order some data from a county directly and do a mailer. Which is what I used to do. That's how I started this.
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it.
Another member named Sean answers member X. I can't speak to RealQuest's data quality yet since I just started using it, but I have used Agent Pro 24/7, and you don't get all the information on a parcel that you use using RealQuest. Most importantly, you don't get mortgage data included for the 5 cents per record with Title Pro. Being able to scrub out those
Agent Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Being able to scrub those out before mailing saves you 55 cents per record on postage. Regarding the duplicate names, you'll find those in Agent Pro 24/7 as well. It happens whenever the same person owns multiple parcels. Thank you, Sean. Kevin says, Kevin is one of the moderators on Land Investors. He's incredibly accomplished, and he's an advanced member. You are blaming RealQuest Pro for the data that is provided by the county. Some counties are years behind updating some of their records. You should expect similar results from Title Pro 24/7 or Agent Pro. It's the same company. If you were to pull the same data from the same county, they will not be different by much except for the way they filter the data. Regarding duplicate names, as Sean said, that occurs when the owner owns multiple parcels, which is a great thing. That's part of doing a mailer. And member X would know this if he got educated before he shot his mouth off on this forum. This is more of a problem with less rural counties where there's been a lot of certain recently subdivided lots created. The person who did the splits is still the owner of many of the lots. In a county like that, I will lose half my data when I take out the duplicates. Just the way it is sometimes, and like Sean said, hey, it's better to spend the money on the data, I'm paraphrasing, than to spend 55 cents for wasted postage. Postage is expensive. Data is cheap. This is me speaking now. You want to scrub out as much as you possibly can, and that's just the way data scrubbing is. Member X would know that if they got educated before they shot their mouth off on this forum. Luke says, we all know Luke Smith, you get a lot more detail with RealQuest Pro data. I like Agent Pro 24/7 and Title Pro 24/7 for pulling deeds and all kinds of recorded stuff. You can pull mortgages on there too. It just costs a few extra cents, but it's good to know what banks and rates are going on to keep you shopping, or just to snoop on your neighbors. I wish, Luke goes on to say, there was one end all be all data source, but it's just part of the business. I'm going to say that again. This is just part of the business. Always shopping for the best data records to mail and offers to is part of this. The more I study, the longer my mailing wish lists get. And that's the reason Jill and I provide 3 sources of data. Title Pro, Agent Pro, RealQuest Pro, and Data Tree, all with your subscription. Atrocious sophomoric comment.
Can you imagine? I'm trying to think of so many ways. Things like
up.
Like, I wonder what industry they're in, and I would, any industry you can say the same thing. Like, I would never do that. It's ridiculous. You don't know how to use it. Oh my gosh. I have, my watch. I can see somebody saying, Garmin sucks. This is the stupidest watch. Why do they even put these in an airplane? Who trusts Garmin? This thing, I can't use it. I can't even tell what time it is. Well, it's a manual, by the way. And you got to get in and dig it and learn how to use it. And this is a great watch. Does it link up to satellites and you can get extra stuff? Heck yeah. Can it be really extremely accurate? Yes, but you have to learn how to use it. Sorry.
So like I said on Monday, the theme of this whole week has been, if you want to do this halfway, no, I don't need any education. I see it on HGTV all the time. If you want to do this halfway, expect halfway results.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I mean, I have a lot more to say, but Jill's right.
know.
Jill's like, okay, that's it.
That's so funny.
Today's topic, what gets Jill excited? This is the meat of the show.
In business.
There's always this little euphoric moment. You should go first because I have a euphoric moment.
Well, let me back up.
In the anatomy of every deal. But you go ahead.
It just happened on whatever day it was. I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday last week. A couple times a week. Or even, let's just say once a week right now. I get these Steven's doing something. And here I come. Literally dancing.
Yeah.
And jumping up and down.
Oh, Jill, I love that too.
Because of a deal. And it's the same situation. And here's when I jump up and down and like, and I hate to say, I try not to, but it's often me barging into a room because I'm like, oh my gosh. And the last one was on last Friday. And it was a deal that I'm like, I think this is good. I'm not sure. This is one of those deals that I'm not the pro on. So I sent it to one of my brokers that I'm working with. I said, hey, when you have a minute, look at this deal. And this is one, I don't know, it's probably a buy for, I think it was buying for $22,500. And he wrote, and I was waiting to see what his thoughts were. So he came back with hey, when are you going to have the deed on that one? If we list it for 89, I could probably sell it for 79. Shoot, I'm sorry. And anyway, list it for 89, sell it for 79. And I was like, ding, ding. I knew it when it came in. I was so excited. That's what gets me excited. These amazing deals.
So in this case, it was confirmation from an unrelated third party, or pretty unrelated, I guess, that we were right.
It's just, I'm a deal junkie. It's knowing what is possible. Can I get that?
What is it?
It's my alarm. I'm sorry.
This is a real show, everyone.
I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I am so sorry. Okay. How's that for
Of course you
real?
can get that.
Because it's Friday. Okay.
This is Friday, and we do real estate deals, and stuff goes off.
Exactly. So I'm a deal junkie. So the bottom line is what gets me excited. When I pull up a deal, it's the initial pulling up a deal. It's the buy side. That's the whole thing. Seeing what's possible. Knowing we're going to buy it for this and it's worth this. And then either my confirmation or somebody else's confirmation or your confirmation that this is a home run. I'm like, oh boy, that's it. And now I'm done, by the way.
Me too.
Now the excitement's over. Okay, so here's how it all went. Like I'm running in the room. I'm jumping up, down like, oh my gosh, this is great. We were already in escrow. So that was awesome. And so now all I'm doing is telling my people, how fast can we close? Because I think he's got a buyer. That's the whole thing too. So, and then after an hour, I'm like, it's okay.
I'm the same way, Jill.
Because I know how it's going to go. I know how fast it's going to sell. This guy knows his stuff, and it will come through. And you know what's going to happen is 30 days from now, or not even that, 3 days from now, 3 days after I have it done, recorded, purchased, and I say ready, go with him, he's going to pick up the phone, whatever it is, and he'll call me back saying, all right, here we go. I got a buyer. We're ready to go. I'm going to go, okay, that's cool, great.
That doesn't excite me either.
No, I know, because we knew that's how it was going to happen. It was just that instant, it is that instant rush of wow. And on the flip side, what doesn't get me excited is looking at deals and trying to make them work. And I keep looking at people going, why are you doing that? You should be having this feeling, especially right now in this climate of crazy uncertainty with people's careers, lives, where they're going to live. There's so many people that we are helping. They're like, get this, I need the cash. Do you want this? and I had one the other day. I really had a legitimate one where the guy said, it was almost, he was about to say, "Do you want to take it off my hands?" And I'm like, I kind of don't. It was a real small, older deal in an area that we don't work with. And the back taxes were so much that I said, look, the amount of money I would make on this property doing this deal for this gentleman was less than $1,000. So I'm like, I'm really sorry, but my time's worth more than that, and I'm sure you can understand. And I nicely, he's afraid that the county's going to come to him with all this stuff. I said, no, you don't have to worry about that. Just stop paying. They'll send more letters, and then eventually one will say, hey, on Tuesday, we're taking it back, just FYI. And he said, okay, so.
That's a real off-topic point of clarification. If you stop paying your property taxes and the county eventually, this is 5 years down the road, or if you pass away and you're dealing with your parents' estate or something, there's no repercussions to you. The property taxes are tied to the property itself and not you at all. So it doesn't affect your credit score. It's not like going through a foreclosure on a house. Nobody's causing angry. You don't get angry letters, none of that stuff. You get a bunch of letters, never a phone call that says, you got to pay your taxes, And it escalates and escalates. And then, or you could even just call them and say, you know what, you can stop me sending the letters. I don't want the property. Just take it. So there's no real, people think it's like a foreclosure in a house. So.
It's not. It doesn't go on your record. He thought it was going to ding him or like garnish your wages. None of that happens. So yeah, that was a little side note. But the point for me today is you should be getting excited. I want you to be looking at these deals and you should be so excited, even if you're brand new, going, I think I just found a gold. And I'm going to bring it up on the member call because I think I found gold just to make sure I'm looking at this right. And you probably are right. I just want you to have that feeling too.
It's just like finding a big piece of gold in a river. For me it is.
Exactly.
I get real excited when I find a county that I know is going to work before we send the mail out. So I get that little euphoric tinge that way. And then getting the mail out's kind of just a mechanical, put stuff in motion. I get extremely excited when we get signed purchase agreements back and the property's amazing. That's the biggest euphoric deal for me.
Right.
And then Jill's team closes it. I don't really care when we get the money after selling it. In fact, I usually don't know about it. And then finally, the third way I get really, I'll never get used to this, how great this is. Because I do the financial statements for all these companies every month. And every other month, one of the companies, I go in there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's $45,000 in this bank account and there's $680,000 in there now. What did Jill do and why? And so what we do is convert money into property and back into money. That's it. And sometimes it goes really, 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 really extraordinarily well.
Thank you.
So I get real excited with that too.
You know what? I have one more that I was going to say that I get excited about. I have two things I got excited about this week. And my other thing was I was flipping through social media and I saw one of our members put a post in there asking about health insurance because he's making the transition to leave his day job. And he wanted to know what everybody else was doing, health insurance wise. And all I saw was, he's getting ready to just take that leap. And that gets me excited.
I get really, really, really excited about that too. And it's a different type of excitement. It's like a
parent.
It's like being a proud parent.
I'm like, yay, I can't wait. Welcome to the Quitters Club.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's so cool. We are very happy you could join us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are on the Land Academy Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on the House Academy Show.
Next week, join us on the Land Academy Show for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Yeah, I love that. I'm trying to think who
we're just in the greatest business ever.
Name was, but yeah. This is an interesting time because I think it's probably happening more than we're hearing right now too. But in the past, people have had their own life things happen career-wise, right? Laid off, whatever, not so much as now, and every time it's like, God, thank goodness I had another way to put food on the table, i.e. buying and selling land. So I know there's a lot of members right now that are like, whew, thank goodness I had this before the whole thing started, I'm putting food on the table.
Yeah.
I know it.
Absolutely. I mean, there's multiple members in our advanced group that are there because they lost their jobs and they were members on the side and decided to step it up 10 notches because they needed to, out of necessity, not because they wanted to. And it worked out for them.
Yeah, a huge majority of them, when their opportunities come back around, they're like, nah, nope, they don't go back. This is nice.
How could you go back?
I know. I couldn't. Could you?
No.
Okay.
No way.
The Land Academy show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steven Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.